Today we'll be diagnosing a slow leak on a tubeless tire for my cross-country bike, my Santa Cruz Tallboy. So as you can see, it's very flat. It's because it's been sitting there for a long time and it's just squeezed all the air out of it over time. So let's get over the bench here and see what's going on. I have a couple thoughts what it might be, but we'll explore and see what it actually is. Okay, over here.
So first thing I'm going to do is check to see how much sealant I still have in a tire. I'm going to do this by using the dipstick method, but first thing you need to do is take out the valve core. To this I just use a valve core remover for Presto valves. And then I'll use a small thin zip strip to poke through the Presto valve into the bottom of the tire to see if there's any sealant left. As you can see, there is not any left in the tire, which is probably what the issue is. But we're still going to check everything else just to make sure there's no other issues. To this, we're going to take off the tire. First is press the bead off of the rim. Go all the way around. Do the same for the other side. First get into some room to look into the rim tape and see if there's anything else. So mainly what I'm interested in is right near the valve, see if the valve itself is might be leaking, or if the rim tape has peeled up near there, allowing air to escape. I'm also looking around those spoke holes to see if there's any issues with the tape pressing in or possibly leaking that way. As you can see here, when I take off the tire, there's absolutely no sealant left to do any of the sealing. So I'm placing the tire back on. I'm going to add some sealant. It's underneath the bench here. Anytime you use your sealant, make sure you mix it up really well. Because if you don't, what happens, it separates from the top to the bottom and you're not getting what you need into the tire. One last shake before I put it in. Pour in about 2 to 3 ounces, so that's like 50 to 80 milliliters. Now I always like to have the sealant go into there and then put on the rest of the bead. It's just an easier way of doing it. I have a modified air gun where I'm able to blow into a Presto valve that's already open without the valve core. It allows me to seat the tire much easier. Then I use a hand pump to pump it up the rest of the way. Through this part, I shake the tire and make sure the sealant is able to get in all parts of the tire and in the rim and tape. Make sure everything seals up really well. If you don't do this, I've noticed you can get slow leaks until you actually go ride the tire. Just go around the wheel bit by bit and shaking it back and forth. It sloshes the sealant back and forth. Getting and coating the tire on the inside and also splashing up into the rim well a little bit to seal the tape up better. Here I'm putting the wheel and tire back in. Make sure you put the axle back in, you make it nice and tight. Take your manufacturer recommended torque rating for this because it can wiggle loose. Also check it after a ride or so after you've taken it out. One other thing I like to do before I take the bike out of the stand is to put the gears in a gear that you can actually use it. It also kind of lets you check to make sure the gears are still pretty much working right. I mean, you're not going through every gear, but it's pretty close.
And that's the reason you don't make assumptions about what's wrong with it. You gotta check the whole problem. See, actually I thought it was gonna be the rim tape peeling up near the valve because I thought this was one of those wheels where I had that happening last time I changed out some tires. But apparently not. Apparently I just ran out of sealant. And you should check that from time to time. I'm really bad about that. I love tubeless tires, they work really well, but that is the one thing you have to be somewhat diligent on. Luckily, it didn't actually fail me. I just had a slow leak versus a fast leak, and I was able to, ride every time I wanted to ride, but realistically, if I had a cut in a tire or anything else that would happen, it would have actually been more of a rapid flat versus the sealant trying to help me out there. So, one of the benefits of tubeless is that the sealant does help you seal the tire if you get a small cut or thorn in it. So that's a good reason to check your sealant from time to time. I'll be doing the front here in just a couple minutes after this video. If you like what I do here, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want. It really helps out. If you got any comments or questions, or you want to call me an idiot for not checking my sealant or not thinking that was what it was, please leave a comment below. Comments really help drive the channel as well. Yeah, thanks. Until then, just drive.